Hey guys, it's Heather here with Underwater Panther, and today is 9/11/2024. So, today is a day to remember, never forget. My allergies have been absolute chaos the last couple of days, so I do sound sick, my throat is scratchy. But, yeah, I had a wild day at work today. Many people were gone. Things were breaking down and chaotic. I don't know how many engineers and people were over there trying to figure out what the problem was. But, yeah, Virgo season. I am working on my Virgo or ESFJ video series. I am currently editing the first 3 intro videos. I might go in that right now with a preface of where I began. And, today's 9/11 and I am 35 years old. I remember the exact moment of hearing of the news of the Twin Towers being struck. I actually kept newspaper clippings and made a collage in a binder well after the event. That sent me down a rabbit hole for sure into many rabbit holes of history and government and so on and so forth. Yeah, never forget today. So I'll do my preface. I think I have enough time. Always driving. I drive a hell of a lot, but it's a good thing I love driving. So I'll start with my preface, and this won't be a heavily edited video because it's just my past history on where I began with studying astrology and psychology. I was into fitness and nutrition for a very long time. I bodybuilt and took it very seriously, as well as my education, and eventually that led me to the Czech Institute and holistic lifestyle coaching, and that system, in my opinion, is the absolute best when you have nowhere else to turn to get your health in order. But the missing component in that was psychology, in my opinion, because it all starts in the mind. You have to flip a switch mentally in order to even accomplish things you've never accomplished before, to be courageous and hone in on your discipline and willpower. So I have always been a common but regular stargazer my entire life. I was just watching, I think it's Saving Private Ryan series. I've never seen it, but they are focusing in on the airborne and war. And my great-grandfather was a pilot. He flew planes and was in the Army, airborne. His son, my uncle as well, and also his son, my cousin. So I grew up in a family of pilots. I have always looked to the skies. I always wanted to fly. And I've always loved just looking up, even at the stars. It's just an amazing thing that I still continue to do. So I grew up rather isolated, but connected with nature. I am deeply rooted in many generations of successful farmers. I am proud of their entrepreneurial intellectualism, work ethic, and connection to Mother Earth cycles. I have deep Native American blood and have always had a spiritual lens through which I view life. Those are my foundations and core. I do consider myself grounded, but in the same breath, I am also future-oriented, open-minded, and inventive. I have loved diving deeply and connecting intimately with people's natures, histories, intentions, and aspirations. You could call me an idealistic dreamer who spends most of my time endlessly researching the connections in existence and where society and myself has been and are headed. I mean, who doesn't like tools that bridge different systems together into better holistic clarity that are actually also practical in use? The creativity, imaginations, artwork, inventions, stories, experiences, gratitude, inner work, and memories that come from looking upon the wonders and beauty of nature, of the beauty in nature, is the greatest glory of our being and consciousness. As above, so below, as within, so without. So, my mother's side, I am kind of estranged from. I did not have a proper childhood by any stretch of the imagination. Really, that's where my journey begins. I had a very, very, very traumatic childhood up until I was 5. And my uncle actually came with my father to another state and picked me up to take me in from my mother. So, due to childhood trauma, I knew that we had a spirit, I had a purpose. I literally came out of the womb a fighter. I'm an Aries rising, so I am a warrior, like through and through. I was fighting for my life up until I was 5. I survived, and my father took me after that point back to the farm, and I was raised on a farm from there on out up until this day. So I'm very family oriented, very nature oriented. That is who I am. So very deeply spiritual. Being able to see the world in different perspectives is my jam. So this practice, Astro-Psychology, can be scientific, educational, emotional, poetic, deeply truthful, and even relatable. I certainly now view everything in life as forms of energy in various expressions throughout their wide spectrums and percentages. Some energies lead and some follow, depending on the ebbs and flows of the cycles, seasons, and consciousness levels. The term synchronicity means so much more than I could ever imagine. It means compatibility and camaraderie, to expand just a little. My astrology studies began with the Western philosophies, due to me obviously living in the United States. I only knew about the sun sign then that you get from the month one was born. I dove so deeply into my natal chart, I was astounded at the accuracy. Like you have to see it yourself to believe it. I then bounced around online, pulling as much information as I could on each of the zodiac signs or archetypes, planets, houses, placements, and aspects. This led me to buy numerous amounts of books and research worldwide experienced professionals. At that point, I went beyond my own natal chart and started examining others on a free experimental basis. I just wanted to be able to ask questions about the information, resonating or not. It took months on end to compile a single chart in the beginning of this career. Eventually, I invested in the highest end on all fronts software to help speed the process up while delivering quality information. Before astrological studies, I had fallen into all of the clinical psychologist Dr. Jordan Peterson's work, from his YouTube lectures and audiobooks to his beneficial online psychological assessments. Dr. Peterson focuses on the cross-cultural Big Five, which are neuroticism, agreeableness, extroversion, conscientiousness, and openness when it comes to understanding personalities. Excuse me. I highly admire Dr. Peterson, who has also lectured students as a professor at the University of Toronto. He tours the United States and other countries to speak out on human consciousness in regards to abnormal social and personality psychology. Dr. Peterson also discusses how these things relate to politics and political correctness, the importance of religious and ideological beliefs, free speech, his books, and how to be a better individual through personality and lifestyle performance improvement. Those topics touch on what I hold dear and what truly matters in understanding society and where we are headed. So this is back in 2016, 17. I ended up attending one of his lectures in Indianapolis, Indiana, not too far from my stomping grounds. The experience reinvigorated my fire to continue my holistically educated path in this new realm of mental and emotional education, self-realization, and transformation. I do have very strongly Pisces, that's my ego in the 12th house, Capricorn, so Pisces is the INFJ, so that's my ego, Capricorn or ISTJ, which is my moon, Aquarius or INTJ, which is my thinking, and Aries, which is my rising sign, archetypes within me. So they're like a scholarly, enthusiastic, and passionate warrior that wants to understand and bring truth. Before Dr. Peterson, I had been dabbling pretty deeply for years into Dr. David R. Hawkins, Paul Chek, Carl Jung, Manly P. Hall, Dolo, and other great philosophical minds of the